we got a lot in common, dude, because you're a musician as well. You know, you're into, you know, you making music. I myself, you know, we talked about that for a quick minute and whatnot. So you've made it this far now, and it's nuts because like you're like, I'm not gonna ask how much you're making or how much you're worth, but you and your boy
Ryan
Ankrum. I keep saying like Akram. I know an Akram, but Ankrum, Ryan. Okay, so
Yeah.
you guys both own or partners with
Anabutter.
Anabar.
So in let me see, this was 2000 and I think it was 18, maybe early 19. We launched. So Ankrum was when I started YouTube. Ankrum owned a like before I started YouTube, he was opening a supplement store in our city.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So there was a supplement store called Subzilla.
I know Subzilla. So hold on a second. Wait a minute. Listen how nuts this is about to be, real quick.
Okay.
Did you ever get a call from a supplement company called Nutribolics?
That sounds so familiar.
So I was the East Coast sales manager US for Nutribolics a while ago, and I remember calling. And this is Ohio. The Subzillas in Ohio, like calling all of them, and I remember, and this was I would say 2016, around that time.
Yep.
2016, and I remember calling the Subzillas in Ohio. I forget where. I don't know if it was Columbus, Cleveland. What's another spot? Like I'm from Winston, so I know. Like I used to go to what do you call it? Point Peel. I mean, what do you call it? Cedar Point all the time. So I think
Cedar Point's a shit.
Yeah, I love Cedar Point.
Let me see. They had a store in Heath, Newark.
Newark was one. So Newark was one for sure because I remember because there's Newark and New York as well, right? So there's So I remember two of those places. The accents.
Grove City, I think.
Yeah. What was his?
His was Lancaster.
So okay, so I've been to Lancaster for baseball and stuff. So.
And he had one. He eventually expanded and opened one on campus, so downtown Columbus, like on campus.
Okay, yeah.
And then he also had one in Dayton.
So you're doing YouTube, and then you meet him at the sub.
So right before I launch the YouTube channel, he opens his store. And I had went to him, and I was, our city was small. So when it came to fitness, I was like one of the biggest guys in our city, just based on the fact that I posted about it on Facebook.
Yeah, visually seen.
So I told him, I was like, hey man, like we don't know each other that well, but you're trying to do big things here. You're opening up a supplement store. I'm trying to do kind of my YouTube stuff on the side, this social stuff. I'm like, we can help each other. Like I'll help you promote your store. I'll come in. I have a camera. I can film. I can do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then in turn, like, it legitimizes me to be your friend because you're a business owner. You own a supplement store.
Yeah.
I can come in here and film and do videos in here. Us being friends makes sense.
That's dope. Yeah. Dope.
Yeah. So we started kicking it. I remember his store was about to open. And we go in and, like, I shoot a video for him. And he's super awkward, like, then on camera. Because, when you first do it, you don't know what to say. You're doing a lot of ums.
Yeah.
So we film a video. We put it on Facebook. We like run ads to that video. No idea what we're doing, but just like, all right, let's boost this out to everybody in a 25-mile radius, whatever.
Yeah.
We do that. His grand opening comes for his store, and that line was, the entire city must have showed up to support. It was the most insane thing in the world. So I start filming videos in there. We start doing stuff, and then it just worked so well when we started doing everything together. That and that and too, like we're best friends, but we ended up being like, okay, so there was, with what he did, there was some people that worked with Subzilla as a company, and they had parted ways. There was like an advisor they had. Well, that advisor reached out to me and asked if I wanted to be sponsored. If you look at these videos, okay, look, like Cherry Street Challenge.
Where's that?
Like, there's Ankrum in that. We did stuff like we'd go did like an eating challenge. Down into the right, you'll see it. Cherry Street Challenge.
Where is that? I can't see through my damn thing. I'm like I got cameras in front of my screen. Damn it! I should put it on the screen. Where? All right. So we got that here
Yeah,
here.
Chelsea, there should be
Here
there
you
should be
go.
a supplement video down here. If you go down, I filmed one in his supplement shop. It was one of the first ones I did. Yeah, okay, yeah, competition time. All right, keep going down. Subzilla, yeah, Subzilla event plus giveaway. There's one we did.
Let me see where is it at. Subzilla event. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. That was the 1 year anniversary event.
This 2016. Yo, I remember talking to Subzillas and all. I can't say exactly which one, but I remember. This is hilarious.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, if you scroll forward, you'll be able to see. Yeah, so we're just at this event. Yeah, there's a Wes Sims UFC fighter. He fought who did he fight? Daniel Cormier, who was the heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
He fought. Yeah, bench press competition outside. There's my buddy Troy. People stretching out for this bench press competition.
This is sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you gotta think this is a small town. That dude's wearing my shirt right there.
Yeah.
RJF.
Oh yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Dope.
Yeah, we got these shirts made. Me and Anchors. This was the whole thing about this was it was so, like that shirt right there, the home with the Ohio is the O.
Yeah.
I want to say, like back then, because you have no idea how to get shirts made or anything like that. Yeah, there's Jared. Jesus, Jared. That was one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. Yeah, that dude was jacked. Can't remember his name at this point. Oh, there we go. Luke Cage, that's right.
Dope.
Wow. Monster.
This is cool. So this is okay. So you got so and then when do you? Cause like you have like so you're doing online. You guys like this is 2016.
Yes.
When's it really start pop? Like when you're like, oh shoot, I'm getting financially kind of secure.
Like, yeah.
Because I know you're financially secure. It's like you can only assume anybody with that many subs in the business you have.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. So I would say there was like different levels to it. Like at this point, I had a decent amount of money, but like not. I mean, I wasn't making. I mean, back then it was all like mainly it was meal plans and coaching.
Yeah.
And, but I'm also very, very, very at that point in my life, especially very. What's the word I'm looking for? Frugal about how I spend my money.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't spend like a penny that I didn't need to spend.
That's
like,
a good freaking that's a good skill to have. Like
dude, to the point where like all right, so like I love playing video games, right? In this day and age, you can buy games digitally.
Yeah.
You can just download them, and right. I refuse to do that. I will buy the physical copy, beat it, turn around, put it on eBay, and resell it.
Smart. So
buy the game for $60. Sell it on eBay. A week after you beat it for $48, you played the whole game for $12.
So you're just a hustler.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm always.
You got good hustle.
So I was extremely frugal. I remember like I would make this money off these because you got to think like when you're doing coaching plans, and you're doing like an online coaching business, you have no upfront cost for really anything that you're doing. It's just time.
Yeah.
So the profit margins are through the roof.
Yeah, 100%.
There's no cost of product. All it really is your time.
Yeah.
And if you're advertising on YouTube and you have these videos where, I'm meal prepping and everybody's watching these videos, I'm getting plans off of that. Like I'm getting paid from YouTube. It was great. But when I first really noticed the money start coming in, there was I think it might've been that summer, like after that Subzilla event. I was doing, I had this video I made about keto, like a keto shredding diet. And I broke it down and I was doing like keto for this little stretch. And I started, doing like little recipe videos back in the day. I did like a protein peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I did what was the other one? Like a grilled cheese. I just did some stuff. I had some of the first protein French toast on YouTube.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
And bodybuilding.com, I believe was the site. It was some big. I think it was bodybuilding.com's Facebook or something, or maybe it was something big in fitness back when like a big Facebook group, like when people really were into that. Before social media was as crazy. They started sharing my recipes on their Facebook page.
Dope.
So that brought a ton of traffic to my channel.
Yeah.
Ton. I remember there was 1 month where I had gained like, I don't know, it was like over the course of a month, it was like I gained like 60,000 subs or something. It was insane growth.
Yeah, because they were massive. Yeah, Bodybuilding Tom was
Yeah, it was this huge spurt.
Yeah.
I remember like the money that month was insane. The plans were insane. Everything just kind of blew up to the point where like, I was either going to spend all my day writing plans or I wasn't going to get any content done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had to hire an assistant. That's when I knew like the money was like starting to get pretty decent.
Yeah.
And then, so that was, so and then always, like obviously always saving money. And then I reached a point where, you know, that's going good. And then me and Ankrum, he's doing well with his store. He's selling. He's got money away. And we both decide, like, all right, we had both worked with another supplement company for a minute that had, like, approached us. So I got sponsored by a supplement company early on.
Yeah.
Once I started getting a little traction. And it was just like, I don't even want to name drop them because I don't want to give them any credit. But basically, I started working with them. And it was just an online company that wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
And I started shouting them out in videos. And next thing you know, they're like, wow, we're getting money off of this. Like, wow, we're selling stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So they approached me and Ankrum and offer each of us, I think it was 12.5% buy-in for the company.
Yeah.
So we each had to give them like $25,000.
Yeah.
And we owned like this little percentage of this company.
Yeah.
Little did I know how screwed over we got.
Oh, yeah.
Little did I know. Because I was the only reason things were selling.
Yeah.
Me, right? There was 4 people in on this business. Ankrum, they made him use the back of his store as the shipping and storage for this whole company. So he had this like big empty space. So he has to ship and do everything, right? The third guy, I mean, you know, wasn't he just wasn't, you know, I like him nowadays. We're fine. We've made up for this, but he just to get, you know, the other 35 per whatever was left over, the other 12.5, so it would have been 75% they split. So to get that huge, he really didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Fourth guy just kind of sent some emails and kind of handled some logistical stuff on the back.
Just made you guys the workhorses while they did nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And selling it off of like my name. And then I remember when we had a really good quarter, and then we took a dividend payout or whatever that was. And I remember I got like whatever I got from that. It was maybe like, you know, 5,000 or 6,000. And then me and Ank got that. And then I knew in the math that like the one dude, both the other guys each got like close to 20 grand or more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, yup, I'm done.
Yeah.
So me and him got out of that, and then we decided to start our own company in 2018. We were like, we're going to start our own supplement company. You know, found a manufacturer, did that whole thing, put our own money down. And it did like, dude, starting any type of company like that is so hard when you don't have any loans and you're doing everything off of literally just like your money.
Yeah.
Because you don't understand that, like, I mean, because you're looking like, okay, we got to locate the manufacturer. We got to go through the sampling phase. Okay, you want to order, because like all these companies have minimums, so it's not like, hey, give me 100 bracelets.
Yeah, you got to get 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000. I think the lowest we were able to find was like 500.
Yeah,
500.
Yeah.
You're like, they're ripping your dick off for price. Like you're not getting a good deal on this stuff. So the margins are small. You got to pay for shipping. You got to pay for labels. And then, like, you're hoping that you sell stuff, and then you're hoping that you can use that money to, like, reinvest into new stuff. So at the beginning, some of the company did well, but not exceptional because we had to grow it. But it was literally until, you know, we launched Anabutter March 19th of last year. And that's really, dude, we launched Anabutter in our supplement company. We easily 10x'd, maybe 20x'd in 1 year. Like, we went from, like, you know, maybe like, we had like $250,000-ish year, like $200,000 a year just off like some whey proteins and greens and stuff, to we finished last year over $2 million in sales.
Wow.
That was dropping Anabutter in March.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
which is crazy because like you go through life and you do all these things, you put out these products, you do stuff. And dude, I did not think Anabutter would do what it's doing. Dude, literally the whole thing was a fluke that it even came together. Like we got reached out to by, you know, Ankrum knows, being in that Subzilla.
You got all the network.
You meet everybody.
Everybody, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So this company that had made these protein bars that Ank carried back in the day, they weren't really protein bars. They were more like meal replacement. Or how many say meal replacement? They didn't have any protein.
Meal replacement bars.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were all natural. It was like honey, very few ingredients.
Yeah.
But the bars never went anywhere. So then the guy had this formula in his own manufacturing, and he's just like, look, like our bars aren't doing very good, but we kind of have a base formula down. Like, what are you looking for? We can maybe go together on a bar. We're like, all right, well, we need this much protein, this yada, yada, yada. So we made these bars, and I remember eating them. Like, I really do enjoy these. I was like, but it'll just be nice. It'll just be another product to add to the line, right? We have, like, there's whey. The more products we get on the catalog, the more we're going to sell. You know, that's just how you keep growing a business. We dropped Anabutter, and, dude, I remember, like, looking at, when we had our first drop, and I looked at, I had the pictures on my phone, so I'd have to look at the exact numbers. But like I remember looking there in the first 10 minutes, we've done 50,000 in sales on the site. I'm just sitting there looking at it, mind blown. And then everything clicked because I'm like, down here we got like a Naka Power.
Yeah.
Shawley, you know, yeah. So Shawley and them got a Naka Power down here that they do these drops. They sell out, right?
Yeah.
Alpha Elite does the same thing.
Yeah.
And I've always seen all these people like Young LA, who
Yeah.
I now work with. They do these drops and they sell out. And I was always like, what's the appeal of a drop? Then you find out. You get that hype. You get people behind it.
Yeah.
Everybody shows up. They spend all their money at once.
Yeah.
And then boom. So then like it all finally clicked with Anabar. And then from there it was like all this money came in and we're like, wow. So yeah, and fun fact, with Anabar, I have not made a penny off of Anabar, personally.
Yeah.
Every bit of the money goes back into the company.
Smart. I mean, I should. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Reinvest.
yeah, because like I got my own thing.
Company cars though.
Say it again.
Got a company car at least.
No, nope, nothing.
Oh, so your car is your personal money.
Yeah.
Dang. Yo, good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you are frugals. You're frugal as F.
Oh yeah.
That's smart, dude. Yeah, dope.
Yeah, well, like that's the thing though. People like I don't know. People what do you call it? Like people get money and they want to go buy a bunch of crazy stuff. Like okay, like I'm not even wearing it. I have like these little like diamond bracelets I wear.
Yeah.
Right. Go to a jewelry store. You're gonna pay $15,000 for that.
Yeah.
Get on goldshop.com and it's gonna cost you like $100.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just like,
yeah.
That's where my brain. And then I'll use that and I'll just have that forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and that was like with the cars and shit. Because like I know people around me that have made good chunk. Because the thing with money is like it ebbs and it flows. Because like back when I told you like I had the assistant and everything was going really good, money was really good. Like it dipped after that.
Yeah.
For a little bit. Like
100%.
there are points where it slows down.
Yeah.
And then if you're not careful, when it's all said and done, like I've had friends do this that are going, dude. I had one friend who was making an insane amount of money. And he was, it was stupid. It was so easy. He was in on this like thing, and it almost seemed like it was too good to be true. Turned out it was, but he had made a shit ton of money in a short amount of time, and he blew it all.
Yeah.
So for a few months, I'm like, dude, you're killing it. I'm proud of you. And then after that, he's back to where like he's asking to borrow money.
Yeah.
Like, but you just had like.
Yeah.
But he went and bought the $1,000 red bottoms.
Yeah.
And he wanted the new watch.
Yeah.
He had to go buy the new car. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, you gotta chill. Like my i8 that I have down there, I bought that in 2018. Yeah, I bought the i8 in 2018 and like it's fully paid off. It just like sits there and it's like everybody's like, well, you need to go buy a Lambo. I'm like, that i8's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. It's paid. Like I'm good. That's my car.
Yeah.
You know. And then like the G-Wagon, I purchased it, which I would consider one of my at the time was probably it was a stupid purchase. But a lot of people told me that. But I researched it a lot, and I found that like out of all the SUVs that are made, the G-Wagon is in like the top 5 that hold their value the most.
You'll 100%. You can easily sell that thing and get the same amount of money back almost.
Well, if I sold it right now, I could profit between 40 to 50,000.
For sure. Yeah, because there's hardly any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since they had all of them get stuck. I don't know if you know, like when the new body style first got imported, there was a big issue with the with tariffs or something, and like they sat for like months. I think it was close to a year. All the G-Wagons sat on a boat in a port.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even be released.
Yeah.
So yeah, being frugal. You know, so it's like I like my house. You know, I'm willing to pay for a house. I'm willing to pay to have nice cars. But like when it comes to
just
the other shit that people just like throw goofy money at, like I have friends that eat out like every night, DoorDash. Like, why are you DoorDashing every night, dog? You're paying double what that food would even cost.
Yeah.
You know, like there's just people just.
I'm that way. Like I had a comment in the sections like from one of my last videos like, well maybe when you get a taste of the money, you know you'll change. Sorry to say that, but it's gonna happen. I'm like, I had nothing before, and I am 100% making more money than I ever made in my life, and it hasn't changed me. Now there's like I had that like very poor woe is me mindset before. So when I started making money, I got things that I know I couldn't afford, but I needed. And I'm the kind of guy too who will like find the discount. Like I'm gonna find like I bought my G lens for my Sony, and then I knew that I can bring it back within 30 days. And then when I bought the G lens to try it out, I was like, cool. And then I went online marketplace. Oh, someone's selling the same one. That's only $1,000. So I brought back the other one, got my full money, my $3,200 plus tax back, and then got my money and bought the one for $1,000. Like I'll do that like literally, and I'll just I'm like, but I'm still learning to be like a better steward of my money for sure because I never had the proper business sense at all. Like I'm learning this whole last like couple years for me have been like I'm a hustler. I could take $1 and make it. I could stretch $1 as far as possible. Like literally, you gotta give me $1, yo, I'm good. But like I'm trying to get to the place where I'm more, I would say, financially educated. You know, I would say I'm very beginner education wise.
I mean, dude, so was I. No one really, no one in my life really gave me good financial advice. It was about really, honestly, because like I'm very good at making money and saving money and having a big chunk. But like when it came to other shit to do, I had no idea. So I just about a year ago got into. And do you invest anywhere?
Definitely. Like I've got into like because I was coming in and I was getting like because I was used to when I was getting money for the like every time I had dips of money, it wasn't like that legal, to be honest. It was legal.
Yeah.
So like when I was, when I'm getting money and I'm like looking at my bank, I'm like, oh my God, like what the fuck is this? It's like, holy shit, like I need to put this stuff away. So I would just take chunks of it and throw it in a savings account. And then I would be like, okay, take this and make it, invest in something. So I've started investing, like I get some RSPs, NFTs, whatever like that. I'm still learning, but it's part of this like, it's crazy because like this entrepreneurial life, I don't know why I did this, but entrepreneurship is like,
I get it.
It's like a ongoing, ever evolving thing that
you're always on the job training.
Exactly. Like you're learning, like I'm reading anything. I'm doing like audiobooks. If I'm reading anything in textbooks, I like reading texts. I like researching. I don't like reading like stories or whatever autobiographies. I like to hear them.
Right.
And I like to read. And I like to read, research stuff. So, that's what I do now. Like I'm trying. Like I'm, that's why I like getting something like you on the channel, because it's like, yo, what? Like you're successful. Let's not be stupid. Like you're successful. And I get a lot of people asking me like, how do I want to do this? What do I do? And I'm like, what I'm doing is great, but this is what I had to do before that.
Of course.
And this is what I'm still doing now. So it's like, let me share some other stories. So it's like, yo, Remington's, because I see comments like, he's got all the money, like all this stuff, and people get like, I remember a couple times guys was like pretty like, he was very like worried about showing what he had, what he made, you know what I mean? And I'm at the point where it's like, how you deliver it shouldn't be a problem. Like you should show the fruits of your labor, but show the story of how you planted that seed to get that fruit, because that's the biggest story that matters the most. Because if you just look at the fruits of the labor at the end, and people only get the dialogue from all before, they're all immediately, oh, you only cares about money. But it's like, no, but when you've never had it before, and then you get it, and you know how to grow it, it becomes something that you like. The way I look, what I wear, what I buy, how I dress is all me. It's how I want to look, and it's a lifestyle that I want to live. So if I want to live this lifestyle, I have to work this hard to be able to live this lifestyle. You know what I mean? And it should be something that's encouraging to people. Like for me, like I look at you, I'm like, yo, I want to get a G-Wagon. I want to get, I'm trying to get, like I got my little toys and whatnot, but like I look at this as motivation for me, and like, yo, how's he doing this? Like how can we help? Because I always feel like, there's so many times we can have a reciprocal relationship. I think everybody can if they choose to. You know what I mean? And we have different things that bring each other together by whatever means it is, and then you just find a way to like collaborate. Like honestly, like I don't collaborate with people. Like I don't. For me, it's like if I collaborate with you, it's because like that's why I'll do a call. Like if I didn't like you after we chatted for a minute, I'd be like, yeah, you're not gonna collab, man. You're like, you're kind of funky. You know what I mean? Right. But like I collab with people that I would hang out with. Like if I was, would I smoke a joint with this dude and talk? Would it get cool? Would it be weird? Like, and what do we share in common? Like music, entrepreneurship, went through some shit, been through some shit. Oh shit, we can definitely, benefit off of this kind of relationship kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got some common ground.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I find like I think that is how I look at this whole YouTube thing. Because I've learned from like when I got into bodybuilding, I'm a really good networker naturally. I network. Like I will look and find people and chat with them and see what they got to say and like, listen to them and what can I use and what can I use to benefit my life? Do I have anything to give back to them for them at all? I don't know, but whatever it is, it's got to be two-way street thing. So I carry my life always like, how can this be two-way the entire time? You know what I mean? So I think that's how I think this should be, like this platform. You know what I mean?
So,
like
when I moved down here, right? When I moved down here, we still had our supplement company, but it wasn't doing anything crazy, right? We had at the time we didn't even have our own warehouse. We had a fulfillment center. So like right now with Greg supplements, they get shipped out of a fulfillment center in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Right. So like people place orders, you have a company that fulfills all those orders and ships them. We were fine doing that, and then when we dropped Anabutter, literally they were like, "Hey, we're sorry, like this is too much work for our guys. Like you have to get your own warehouse, right?"
Yeah.
So now we're scrambling to get a warehouse. And I moved down here. Do you know who Max Shooting is?
Yeah.
Owns Sour Strips.
Yeah,
okay. So
yeah.
Max Shooting and Shawley. So I had moved down here, and you got like, I would call Max, Shawley, and Christian down here, Christian Guzman down here, probably like the three big boys.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
They're down here with the businesses that are killing it.
Yeah.
So you move down here, and it's like, no, and how do I phrase this the right way? Not like, because I think a lot of people get the wrong impression, because it's like, not that I want to like use anybody or like be around them to use them, but it's like, I want to be around them just because I want to have the conversations.
Yeah,
about. Yeah.
Yo, like,
so,
Tony Robbins says the best, like, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Like, copy someone who's already successful.
Course,
That's how you get successful.
Uh-huh.
Like, and the thing is, like, yeah, like, there's a point where you start off as just learning. You're a student. You're around that circle. You're getting it all in. That vibe, that energy is like uplifting. You're like motivated. You're seeing like, I'm not the best in my circle. And then eventually they're like, yo, hustle. This guy's killing it too. Like, hey, he can help me. It becomes, again, it's reciprocal iron sharpens iron type relationship. So like, I completely believe, I gravitate to people like that. Like, if you're a good person, if you got a good personality and shit and you're successful, I'm trying to find out what the hell you're doing. Like, I'm all for it. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, when we first got when we were first getting the warehouse, like, we went to dinner with Max Tuning. And he's, with Sour Strips, it's blown up. He's in Walmarts and Targets all over the U.S., crushing it. So we're sitting down and eating dinner with him, because it was funny because, the other thing is, too, you got to do, because when I came down here, I ran into Max a couple times, and I didn't know anybody when I first moved down here. And I was like, I'd see him around. I was like, hey, man, big fan. If you ever want to grab dinner or something, you just let me know. Like, but I'm never the type of guy, like, I don't ever want to be that guy that seems like he's trying to, like, I'll ask him once.
And then
I'm not going to bug it.
Plant the seed and see what happens.
Yeah, there we go. So I planted the seed a couple times, but, and then you also realize, too, when these people don't get back to you, you have to realize that, like when you're doing stuff at this high of a level,
you're busy.
Your time is the most valuable thing that you have. Yeah. So I'll have, like, old, like, I don't even want to say friends, like, because I give my friends time, but, like, old acquaintances that, like, I would say we were definitely friendly, and people that I do like, but I'll get some text messages sometimes, and I'm like, man, I just don't even have time to have this text conversation right now. It's not that I don't like you or anything.
No, it's time and energy. You can't get back. You gotta. I get it, dude. Like I get all the time the same thing. It's like I don't like, in this moment I can't, like, even right now it's like I'm getting messages. I can't sit. I'm not gonna in the middle of this is work. Like, regardless of, this is our careers. Like, this,
My phone's on the floor over there, so I don't even hear it buzz.
Yeah.
Tries to, you know what I mean? So I don't, like, we were in the middle of the podcast earlier, and I think the neighbors were mowing their yard or something, and I was like, So anyways, went to dinner with Max Tuning, and dude, if it wasn't for Max, I don't know. We got our warehouse, and Max was like, you need to do this, you need to do this. Here's the permit you need. Here's what you got to do. Now you're a food product like me. Do this. You need to do this. Anabutter dropped, because I said I planted these seeds, but we did nothing. Once Anabutter dropped and it sold out and went crazy and the hype was real, then he was like, the mutual respect was there. Like, oh, you have a good product with good branding. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Great. Let's grab dinner.
Yeah.
And then boom, now it's every few weeks, just go sit down, eat some fajitas. He'll have a couple
just
drinks.
Chat. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, awesome. And the difference is that, like, I ran into this a lot too. One of the reasons I wanted to move was because in my city, I always got like people, especially people that didn't know me, but like they would always call me like cocky and things like that.
You hear that quote? I put a quote up. Actually, this is a dope. It's from what do you call it? Drake.
I love Drake.
That's right, Canada.
Oh, Drake. Yeah. So about that. Yeah. How do Canadians feel about Drake?
That's our boy, man.
Yeah, he's the GOAT, isn't he?
I mean, like, yeah, really.
I mean,
Yeah. So check it out.
we're talking all around.
He's like, you can't talk power moves and life goals around people who don't have the same hunger as you. It sounds like you're bragging.
Yeah, see, okay, dude, you just fucking completed my sentence because like,
Don't nail him.
we'd be sit, you'd just be sitting around and like, let's say like, there was a restaurant in our city called Roosters where everybody went. Like,
Yeah,
everybody went. You'd be at a tall table, and it'd be nothing to meet a couple buddies there, and then a few other people would come just post up at your table. But like, I'm sitting there talking with Ank, and like, we're just about anything.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we're doing this, it's killing it, and like, ooh, I want to do this, and you're excited and you're
Yeah,
hungry, and
yeah.
he is. But then like, I remember one time we left at dinner, and then some girl was there, and I just didn't really talk. She was like kind of the other end of the table, kind of listening. Then we left, and then someone like hit me up like, dude, like she doesn't like you. I'm like, what? She's like, she said you're one of the biggest assholes she ever met, and I'm just like, I was just sitting here like,
just chatting.
But people, the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that unsuccessful, pessimistic people look at other people's success and they feel entitled to it, and they wonder, why don't I have that? And the number one way to get out of your own lane is you have to understand that you aren't owed shit. You aren't entitled to anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And one thing that's really, because what's helped me a lot mentally is just literally taking that and realizing that anytime I'm upset about something or I feel myself getting any type of way, I literally try to humble myself and go, dude, like, you aren't owed shit. Like, none of this. You're not owed views. You're not owed money.
Yeah.
You're not owed anything at all. Like, no one has to like you. You're not owed positive comments. You're not owed whatever.
Yeah.
And your brain, right? Like, I used to have trouble with my comment section because I was super addicted to it. And it's like, read 100 good ones, you're in a great mood. One bad one, you feel
kills
good,
you.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been doing this mental practice where this guy I listen to, Alex Hormozy. You would love him. He's like a new age, I would say like a Tony Robbins type guy, but he's worth over $100 million.
Yeah.
Jacked.
Oh yeah.
He started a gym business where he had gyms. He opened up multiple gyms, parlayed that into like selling his gym model, and worth over $100 million. But his outlook on life has changed my life. But he says like, in life you should only ascribe value and meaning to things that are really close to you in your immediate vicinity. Like he says, if you view comments as valuable, then they're going to affect you when you read them, whether good or bad.
Yeah.
Right? He said, if you ascribe value to something, then it's you leave it open to hurt you.
Yeah.
So I literally, now when I read comments, I don't know how this might sound, but like obviously I appreciate every comment we get, but I get no value from them.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I totally understand, and like I don't want people to like misunderstand. Like he takes no value. No, like I detach myself from. I do a lot of practice with myself, like emotional practice and being in the moment and whatnot. And it's for me, it's like I detach myself emotionally from things that don't have effect on who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I take it for everything face value. If someone's commenting good or bad, it's a comment for that piece of work, creative work, whatever it is. That's all it is. They don't know who I am. I don't know who they are. They're commenting on what they see and putting out their opinion. And everyone, that's fine. Do what you want to do. But I'll never be emotionally attached to comments at all, ever. Like I can't. Like for me, I watch them like, good shit. Be bad comments like, that's funny, cool, whatever. Like I look at them as just like that's what it's there for. Like that's, you know what I mean. Plus, like when it comes to negative shit, I'm like, I've already done to myself the most negative anyone can ever do to myself. So good luck. Yeah. Like it's not gonna bug me. Like you can say whatever you want to say about me. I've already did worse to myself.
Yeah, I'm harder on myself than you could ever be regarded.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So so that's cool. It makes like you got the right mindset, obviously like business sense to that's what you need to do, gravitate to successful people. Like you want to be successful, be around successful people. Like see their daily lifestyle, like their mindset, where are they emotionally, like you like so you're where you're at, it's not all gravy, you have your ups and downs. So like where you're at, like what would be like on your rise, what would be the worst thing? Not worst thing, like what would be the hardest challenge you had on your way to being, and you're going to continue to be successful, what up until now? Like on the way to be up, like not when you're in Cali and stuff, like we already know that was tough. Yeah. That's tough as shit. I'm talking like, yo, here we are. What's up?
The hardest thing, if I mean, to be completely honest,
What?
probably when all that drama went down a year ago. That was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with on the road to success. Everything else has been.
What was that one? That was with
That was the cookbook and the recipes and all that.
Oh, like everyone like got at you for taking their recipes or whatever. Okay.
Yeah. Which that whole situation was because like obviously when it because like honestly when that stuff first because that was a roller coaster of emotions because it took me a while to realize that I even did anything wrong. In retrospect, that sounds really weird, but like back in the day on YouTube, so I assume you watched all the videos, so you've seen it all, right?
I've seen all of it. Yeah.
So to this day, I still haven't watched the big reveal video that came out that EC4M made.
Yeah.
Still haven't watched it to this day.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to do it. I don't know why. But I skimmed through it. But back when I was beginning on YouTube, so before if you look through all those old videos, the shitty part is that like back then it was like the Wild West on YouTube. So it'd be one of those things. I had a period of time where I went half a year and did a video every single day, shot, edited, and filmed by me and released. Didn't miss a day for half a year straight.
Yeah.
Right? And during that time, I needed content. Yeah. So I would get on Google.
Yeah.
I would type in protein recipes and find them.
Yeah.
I would find like, oh, here's how you make this. Here's how you make this. And I found like what's his name? One of the guys that I ended up taking a recipe from was what was his name? Anyway, he had a website with recipes on it, but he also had videos too.
Yeah.
So I would pull these recipes and I would make them. And when I had my assistant, one of his jobs was to find recipes for me to make on the channel.
Yeah.
So it was just like I'm just not even. That was back before anybody had a cookbook. That was back before. Yeah. And in my brain at the time, as weird as it sounds now, that I'm like, this is just what I do. At the time, because I would do vlog, workout video, random recipe, Q&A. Like it was just a video every day.
Yeah.
At the time, it didn't honestly register to me that I was doing anything wrong. So, and then anything that happened past that, so were like the accusations that were like post to my cookbook, a lot of those were, some were like, just really reaching really far because like I watched Sam the cooking guy a lot. And he makes only unhealthy food, right? Yeah. And I watched a video. He had a video where he did 5 recipes in one video for like munchies, and he took a tortilla and made a pizza on it in a skillet. Yeah. And I go, that'd be easy to make anabolic. Yeah. So I just throw a tortilla. Now there's probably 100 videos that do that on YouTube.
1,000.
Right? Yeah. Okay. But like I did it, and I saw that I make a pizza. I make it healthy. To me, in my brain, that's different. I'm using different ingredients, everything. And in my brain, I'm like, to me, that's not worthy of a full shout out. Yeah. For like, so my opinion on this, and I'm gonna be straight up. Yes, for me, it's like, and I always am a advocate of just give credit where credit's due. Of course. And like, so like, if in the moment and you miss whatever, that was my thing. Cause like outside of like you not giving credit, I find that we all take everything from everybody. Something's like think of the music, how hard it is. Like I write, and me and my brother, like I'll help my brother. He writes as well too. He does EDM and whatnot. So like and you'll get a tune, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's the same melody from Coldplay. Ah shit, you know what I mean? Like damn it, and you won't know until the whole song's freaking done, and you're like, oh, we just took out a couple of beats, but the melody was in my head from, and I get that, like if it's unintentional, like I had a guy, it's funny, I had this guy who used to tell me things that were like, that resonated with me, but he was actually like a crook. It's pretty funny. But he always say a couple of things like, did that person wake up in the morning planning to hurt you? And I'm like, no, it's like people make mistakes. Like it's not, like, so it's like, I get that. I can understand where being a creative, you know what I mean? Like I've been like outside of this industry, when it comes to writing music, writing lyrics, whatever it is, like you gotta, how many times the same melody or chord arrangement has been used? That it's like, if you have a favorite type of music, you're gonna hear that one of those favorite songs, and some reason one of your songs sounds just like a song that you liked before. So it makes sense to me that if you're doing nothing but content, recipe, and you're getting inspiration for some, and you're like, boom, 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 and you're like, shit, maybe even like, oh yeah, isn't that whatever, and you just don't remember to do, like, I get that. I mean, dude, I mean, I'm not I literally found recipes online or in certain YouTube videos and made them. in my brain at the time, I never thought. I just it just didn't. I don't even know why, but it just didn't click that I was doing anything wrong. And now, in retrospect, I look back, I'm like, yeah, I fucked up. Now I've learned. But at the time, you know, because it wasn't even until like, because to me back then, recipes weren't. It was just a piece of content.
Yeah,
okay,
100%.
It wasn't. You know, it was a video I would make. I would make a recipe once, and then I would never make it again.
Yeah.
It was a video that I made.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's how you make protein French, right? And then it wasn't until I actually came out with the cookbook and started actually making my own recipes from the ground up where I was like, oh.
And you pulled some recipes from your old shit, and then there you have the controversy. Yeah,
so it was you know, and that was the thing too when all this came out was like, look, like that was the shitty part because I felt like I was painted to be like, and that, you know, and if we go back to the Anabutter video or whatever, the worst part is like, man, like I'm a human being, I make mistakes, and that was definitely a mistake I made, and you know, one that I do regret, but it's like the worst part is that some like these videos, man, when they're edited a certain way, they make you seem like such a piece of shit.
This industry is like very unforgiving sometimes, and very very unforgiving and very forgiving. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't take much. Like the more open you are and vulnerable about your past mistakes, people like fall in love with you more. They're like, oh shit, you're actually human. You make mistakes too. I know that. You know, I thought just some personality that just go out there to fuck everybody else. You know what I mean? And I get, because I've seen all of it. Like I've seen. You know, I haven't been on the end of a video, a review like that, but that's why I put the video like a couple days ago. And here's who I am. I have a cousin of mine who called me out of the blue with my brother. And I know my cousin, he's look him up, Alexander Michael Giddens, AMG, one of the dopest comeback stories, you know.
Oh yeah.
And he's my godbrother, so he's in his 40s. Like I know my entire life, me and my brother and Alex. And he called me because my brother called him, and they were talking about a situation about me. And my cousin's like, nope, call him up. We don't talk behind. We're gonna talk about this right now, and let's tell him, because what we gotta talk about is important for this person's life. Like, I love you. It might sound harsh. I don't give a fuck. I gotta tell you, like, you know. Period. And that's who I'm surrounded by. You know what I mean? Like I have those people in my life who have no problem to say, hey, you're overstepping, or yo, like watch your character. Like this is like, you know, they care about my character type thing. You know what I mean? And so it's in me, because like I fell into, like I'm straight the fuck up. I fell into the, you know, let's do a video because I know drama's gonna sell, and I keep them up. I erased the video of Cali Muscle because some of the stuff there was extremely inappropriate to even have on there. Like I don't mess with me, dude. Because like if you come, like I got a brother who's a battle rapper, you know, and I got know, like I play ball, I could jib jab. Like you don't try. It's not gonna be good. You know, I'm gonna get you good. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was like, that's how it came, and I was like, boom, and I did it, and I was like, after that, and there was a couple of videos. There was a Jeffrey Verity Schofield video I did. And then I was getting the backlash, and I don't care about comments. I don't care.
Right.
It was my character.
Amen.
My brother was like, "Why'd you put that video out?" And it's like, I would, because he was at one point, my brother was my other editor, and he would do the final editing because he knew me the most. He obviously knows my personality. And he's writing screenplays. He's extremely creative, so he knows how to put things together.
Put it all together.
You know what I mean? And he was like, I would not have put that video out. And I was like, you know, I gotta find a way to do this without trampling on somebody. Cause like, I don't care. I don't really care. Like there's like, I did a video and like sees comments like, you should be able to review people's videos. Like, yo, listen to what I'm fucking saying. Listen to what I'm saying, viewers. You can review anything you want. You can say your opinion on anything you want. You can do it with class.
Right.
And respect, because like talking to you and hearing about, you know, how you feel about it, it's like you guys are realizing that on the other end of these reviews that are helping you figure out that if that has the right amount of calories in it is extremely hurting somebody that has, you know, you could like listen, like I can say it, man, go buy Jiffy.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. Like, hey man, it's actually not as, it's not actually not as, less calories as whatever, but it still tastes way better than peanut butter. You know what I mean? Make sure you guys know that it is just a spread and it's just for taste. It's not for calories. It's not for, it's not for whatever. It's a better option. I could say gazillion things about Anabutter that don't even come close to touching who you are as a person. And I don't fucking know you. So for me, it's like, that's what I don't know who you are. I do now. I definitely know who you are because of this conversation. So like for me, it's like I have an obligation to make sure that I treat people the same way. You know what I mean? Right. So when I do like my coaching up videos, there's a couple videos I've done. Right? I did it. Yes. That I would, sometimes emotionally I'll get into my thing. Like when I get in video, I get into that mode. It's when I'm like boom, boom, creative. Like I can flow. Words come. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I want to be able to do this without having to do that. So like, and I remember one of my videos, and this is when it really resonated with me, was I did a coaching up on Will Tennyson, and he dropped my name in his video, and he corrected his form. And I'm like, dope, sick. And we collaborated like a month later, went to Toronto, and we did collaboration. I'm like, that's how this shit's supposed to be. Not the other way around, because I can easily, I can benefit you 100% by reviewing your product without at all, and I can let everybody know the truth behind, it's not even truth, that whole it's almost like tribal, pitchfork, like mob mentality. Get him, he's bad, he lied to me. Like, don't paint the picture of someone like I tried to manipulate you. I woke up in the morning, I'm like, I'm gonna trick these guys to not eat freaking peanut butter. Like, well, that's, and that's a narrative that's great. Like, if people don't understand the narrative they create on like, whether it's on purpose or not, there's a narrative you create when you say something about somebody that you don't know completely if you don't talk about the things you do know.
Well, so the whole thing with me was that I was looking through my texts. So I want to say me and Greg were DMing. I'd have to double check this because I was talking to my girlfriend about it. My text messages we were texting in December, right around Christmas. We were texting about, we had someone that had ripped off both of our cookbooks and had a fake Greg.com site and was like selling my book with some of his. It was like this big thing. Yeah. He got it taken care of. So he's texting me. We'd been talking about it. We were sending like literally books back to each other, just talking. And then I want to say we were sending, he does a lot of voice messages. So Valentine's Day weekend, I was in Vegas and me and him were going back and forth. My girlfriend was upset. Like, we need to go to dinner. What are you talking to Greg for? I'm like, nah, Greg gets my time. You know what I mean? Greg gets my time. So, everything's fine. You know what I mean? And then you wake up one day and it's like this video drops, and then you probably saw the video I made. I think I like the truth about.
I watch it. I do my due diligence.
Okay. Well, like I did that, and it was like I'm trying to defend myself, and I have people commenting like why would you continue this? Why would you even respond? I'm like, dude, he puts it's one thing if he just reviews it, and it's like you said, there's a way to do it. Like, okay, if he believes look, really, it's not that much better than peanut butter. There's a few less calories. You do get a gram of protein, but honestly, what do I think you should do? There's one way to do it. And I was literally like, okay, let me look back at everything I've ever said about this product, and let me see if what, and I watched them all, and I'm like, wow. So I'm putting that video together, and, and my girlfriend's like, you need to just stay out of this, da-da-da. And I'm like, here's the thing, babe, when he does this, what people don't get, right? They see the drama. They see the videos going back and forth. What they don't get is that my sister's getting DMs that are calling her ugly and calling me a snake. And I'm getting inundated with comments everywhere saying that I'm a fraud, that I'm this, that I'm that. I'm getting direct messages. You're getting this from everywhere. All of this whole army of subscribers comes and they just inundate everything you're doing. Clown emojis, ratio plus L. You're getting everything is getting flooded by this stuff. They're going to our website, they're leaving 1-star reviews all over the place for all of our products.
And there's a level of defense you have to put up. I get it. And I don't want to I'm not excusing the only thing I can actually say about this is because I know Greg, and I was talking to you about this yesterday. And that's why I like to have these collabs so people could see the real life narrative. You know what I mean? People don't know. People only know you for screen value. Whatever you put out, they know that person, that's it. And then if they don't know you as a everyday talking person, your personality, how you might joke here and there, slip jokes, and you might be sarcastic, you might be introvert, whatever it is, people take everything out of context. I don't know anybody else who is literally as emotionally passionate about fitness and the numbers being off. But at the same time, it's like if you don't know the person, you take it out of context, and that person themselves has to understand that what type of narrative that they might be creating, because we can do this whole thing here and then I send it to my editor and you get a completed story. Like you don't get, whatever, you know what I'm saying? True. So it's like, that is like, for me and as a friend, I'm not going to the rules don't slip and they don't slide. I'm the same person on YouTube, on Instagram, in the real world. I don't change. There's none of this, what's on YouTube is whatever, but my real life is, that's not consistency. That's not fucking genuine. I don't care who you are. So if someone has if one of my friends says or does something that I know for sure that is like, hey man, I know the effect of this on someone, and I'm going to use that as an example for all of us to simmer the F down on how we treat each other, fellow creators who are literally grinding to get where we, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just told me your story. That's a grind. There's a gazillion times you shouldn't even be here. You should not be here right now. That dude that was in California with you, I was expecting to be like, yo man, he raped me. Sorry, whatever. I'm sorry, but I'm like, yo, is this where we're about to go right now? But doesn't matter where it went. It went to somewhere where you should be there as a 19-year-old. Are you fucking kidding me? But then to go through that and then get to where you're at now and then have to deal with that is a kick in the nuts, and I get that. So that's why I'm like, I'm not a self-righteous person, but I hold a value of myself at a high regard when it comes to leaving a lasting impact on someone's life. That's why I got into this whole thing. I got into this because I wanted to show that. I wanted to be someone like yourself who came through the shits, went through everything you can go through to have a successful Fortune 500, whatever company that's still growing. You know what I mean? So when I see you, I'm like, yo, this guy's doing this. How do I get there too? I want to know. My business is just kind of really growing. I incorporated my business 10 years after my mom bought my diploma at Frame. I'm seeing I see the fruits of my labor. You know what I mean? I'm trying to network more. I'm not just, this isn't a collaboration for me to be like views. I'm like, yo, this can be something more than this. Let's see how we can grow from it. How we get this. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. So if I find that someone's doing, I don't care who you are.
Imagine, right? You go through all the struggles. You start a little supplement company that's kind of barely scraping. I don't want to say barely scraping by, but it's not.
Beginning.
It's it's profitable enough to invest in new products and do what we got to do, but no one's making money. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's then you finally reach that point where all the hard work pays off. You release a product that is doing gangbusters. People love it. The reviews are exceptional. I mean, because this was back, we talked about the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. Because not only did all this cookbook drama happen, and in the beginning of it, I was so on the defensive because at the time, me and Nick E4CM we just didn't get along. He had made some videos of and stuff, and I just was kind of just ignoring him. And when all this came out, it was him, and Iron Musket was in my head at the time. I was like, he's supposed to be my friend, and then Nick drops his video, and then as soon as that happens, Nick had sent the video to Iron Musket in advance. He had a reaction waiting. It was it felt targeted. You know what I mean? So I was on the defensive, and instead of me being look, I fucked up, I was just playing emotions defensive, and I messed up in that part. But then when Greg made his video, with his reaction to the cookbook thing, which actually was a really good video on his part, he treated me very fair.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, but then a day later, he reviews my Anabar and fucking trashed it, yelling and screaming the entire time, dude. I remember just feeling so, because you gotta think, we had just dropped Anabar a month before, maybe. Yeah, we just had our first launch, and we had sold out, did crazy numbers. It was insane. I was so optimistic for the future. And then now the biggest fitness channel on YouTube is completely trashing my product, without even trying it or tasting it, having it in hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, so we like, and so that whole series was like, you know, I go from being on cloud nine, everything's amazing,
Yeah.
new product, feeling good, finally getting the, you know, finally doing what I want to do, wearing my big boy pants, like all the fruits of all my labor, and then systematically, like every part, my character is assassinated, my cookbook is considered fraudulent. My protein bar is the worst bar in the world. You should only eat it if you're trying to gain weight. Like, you know what I mean? It was all these things at once.
Yeah.
And I remember, dude, like laying in bed at night and like shaking. I was having such bad anxiety and like just sitting there, like, you know, I always try to equate it to people that might have never been through something like this, but that feeling when you go through like a really bad, some of your first breakups you go through that are really bad.
Yeah.
And your chest hurts.
Yeah. It's empty stomach, empty feeling in your stomach, you know? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember like laying in bed and just being like, completely just exhausted, not sleeping, stressed out, being attacked from all angles.
Worrying about the money, worrying about the you know, dip in sales and what, you know, your head goes into a spin, like spiral down. My life's oh my God, I'm gonna be broke again. Shit. My memories, I
went through it last time. It was one of the worst things I ever went through. And this time, like, I refuse, especially knowing this time that, like, I don't believe I did anything wrong. I'm like, I have to.
I always try to take, like, you know, how can I spin this to educate all of us? You know what I mean?
Right, for sure.
You know, so we know, like you've seen the effects of influence on, you know, every mainstream media, and how you can get a person to do whatever you want because they trust you. You know what I mean? It's like it's like for us, like, you know, we have control over what type of following we want. You know what I mean? Like, I have total control over what kind of person I want in my community section based on the kind of stuff that I put out. It's like, look at The Secret. This is the law of attraction is strong in this like strong. Like, there's someone that looks good across here that's engaged with me. Like, I'm looking in the screen, you talk to somebody, like, you know, doing, you know. So people are not easily, but like very easily impressionable.
Of course.
And we have an obligation. And that's just me. You know what I mean? Like, that's just me. That's how I feel. Maybe you feel the same. You know what I mean? Maybe that's my religious background. My mom, it's always in me to be like, hey man, like, this is how we treat other people, or how we get people, like how we want people to have the perception of us is under our complete control. So it's like, I know that how I want to make someone, if I'm doing a coaching up, I know that the route I took on a few videos before, the comment section is completely different. They're just like, they're bashy, they're more angry, they're emotionally what's there. But when I have a channel that I preach a lot of like mental health, you know, like, you know, be classy with what, you know, how, you know, we can say things differently, positive. My comment section is like, opposed views and those who are against or opposed or whatever. It's healthy.
Of course.
Like, if you want to know what kind of channel you have, look in your community section. Look at it. Are they making fun of people with you? Are they bashing people? Are they saying mean things? Is like, you know, are they taking joy in someone else's demise? Can they see past those things? Like, that's what you put out. You said that this is a channel that you're gonna do, and then this is how the channel is, and it works on both ways. I feel like this is how collaborations, some should be, a component of it, of like showing the real person. And it's also the influencer's job as well too. Because for every you know, collaboration is only like, hey man, let's do a foodie collaboration and show what we show everybody every day, but you don't know this person. That person will probably be less likely to leave stupid comments on your shit when they know who you actually are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 100%. that's why that's why I did this, and like, whatever, I don't really care whatever, you know, whatever narrative people want to make, that's on them. Like, I can't control anybody at all. I know I can control me, and I'm responsible for everything that I do and everything that I put out and everything that I know that I have influence, and I'm responsible for me. I can't control what narrative that's why I don't waste time on comments to be like, and trying to explain myself to somebody. I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna, you know, especially if you're comment, it's like, there's no way you're gonna listen to what I gotta say. This person here looks like they want to understand something, I'm gonna comment on that one type thing. You know what I mean? So
I always one of the best things you can be in life is open-minded.
Yeah.
It's so easy, and you see it so much, especially in the U.S. I'm not sure how it is in Canada, but like the U.S., like politically, right? You get these people that are so hardcore, either left or hardcore right, and they can't even. Just the idea of even agreeing with something that the other side might agree with a little bit is just you just can't do it. Like people have no gray area. They're either a one or they're a zero. They're either black or
That's
they're
all.
white.
That's all. Canada is one big gray area. That's
Yeah.
and you don't want a big gray area. You want you want a good mix of both. America and Canada can have a good mix of the best of both. It's legit the dopest continent. You know what I'm saying? But like Canada, we're like you were very like, how do you feel about this thing? Well, sorry. It's like I don't know, sorry. But I feel like sorry, and this is like, hey, sorry. And it's like, how do you really feel, man? Like you mad about it or you're not? Kinda. Well, sorry. Like I'm living the dream type bullshit, right? So.
Right.
But yeah, dude, like it's man, we talk all day. That's like it's cool. So like I mean, I hope that we can like when I'm not talking to so I have to do this because I have to help stop the narrative before it starts.
Of course.
Before anyone makes a narrative about myself and Greg and whatever else, this is a general statement for everybody. I hope that we can get to a place where we're not only collaborating just to boost each other's views, where we're collaborating to boost each other as people.
Of course.
That's my thing, right? Because it comes with, like, that's the icing on the cake. The extra views and subs, that's the icing on the cake. The connection, this thing here, that could be life-lasting, reciprocal success.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like the greater, it's like, one, you're better with, numbers. You know what I'm saying? When 2 to 3 people come in my name, we can move mountains, basically, scripture in the Bible. Like, it's better when everyone is like in the collective of trying to see each other succeed instead of being like, climb up on each other, but, going to the top. You know what I'm saying? So,
like Greg came out with like the Kaiko bar, right? Never in a million years would I have name dropped his bar in anything that I was doing. Like in a negative light. That never would have happened out of respect for Greg. Regardless, his bar could have been full of worms for all I knew, and I just would have I just probably would have just left it alone. I never ever have tried to be like get my cookbook over his or my bar over his. That's just never ever what I would do.
Yeah.
Like to me, because I'm the type of guy, and this is one thing I had a hard time grasping with as I became successful in my small town was that when I worked at Sprint and the gas station, I met a ton of different people. And some people become regulars. You see them quite often, and you might not be best friends. But like, if I have a good interaction with somebody, and we maybe laughed or we just had a good time, like I consider you a friend, right? Because nothing's changed. But I watched people switch up on me. That like I used to sell. They'd come in like a husband and wife, and I would sell them phones or boyfriend girlfriend or like get their kids all set up and just treat amazing experience. And then I'm seeing on Facebook a year later after I'm getting a little success that like, oh, he's changed, he's this or he's that. And I haven't even talked to these people.
yeah.
Right.
What?
So like with the whole like Greg thing, it's just like, I don't know, man, like if we're friends and you really feel that way, like if you're really that upset about it, and like, I want everybody to know, like, I'm not shitting on Greg. I don't hate Greg. That's not what I'm doing here. But I'm just saying like, as a friend, right? If you really felt there was something wrong with what I did, like, you have my phone number. We talk. Like, you can, hey, hit me in private, but hey, look, man, this is kind of how I feel about this. Instead of making it this big thing and creating just a bunch of unnecessary... Because the other thing is, too, is like Ankram's my business partner. And I feel bad because every time our company starts doing good, I get dragged into drama.
Yeah.
And he has to deal with it.
Yeah.
And he's not built the same way I am. Like, he's like, he wants blood when this shit comes.
Yeah.
Like, you're attacking my bottom line, my dollar, this shit I've worked for my whole life. This is my baby right here. This is my retirement. This is my life's work. And you're coming on here as completely, and then there's this assumption that like, so we have like Anabutter. It's a protein bar, Anabutter. We drop a product called Anabutter. And then I was getting a lot of comments like after I dropped my video.
It's not anabolic.
Exactly, because Anna's in the name. I'm like, guys, like
anabolic isn't a. This is why the terms get on my nerves. Anabolic is anything.
I know
that involves fitness.
Yeah,
I'm about to do an anabolic workout. I'm gonna do an anabolic lunge. I'm gonna do an anabolic jump rope. Like we're like getting to, and that's again that's influence in how we create our own narrative of like what is the real definition of anabolic. Well,
Of course.
not really anything to do with, like, we're just trying to say, like, if it's got anabolic in it, it's probably has something to do with protein,
Right.
right? And if there's more
Right.
protein in it, it's a little anabolic.
Well, dude, and that was the thing about us. So obviously, when you're making a product, you do market research. You look at what's dominating.
It's fun, dude. Anabar is easy to say. I went through marketing with my last company I was with for 7 years. I wore so many hats with my last company. Literally, it was like they'd fire somebody. Johnny, can you do this? Okay, cool. All the time. So I know. Well, I went through like 3 different branding with the company. I'm like, hey, how does it have to look? Like, you know, what is the, how does, like, you know, what's on the shelf? What color should we have right there? You know, where should the picture be? Like, all of these, I get it. Like, so it's like, yo, that's easy to roll off the tongue. It's Anabar.
Boom.
And you're like, Anabar. Cool.
And when we started
Anabutter.
dude, yeah, Anabutter, right?
Anabutter.
So because our manufacturer reaches out to us, they're like, hey, like we have this formula, we're kind of getting into spreads. Would you guys like to, you know, collab with us on it?
Yeah.
And then we're dropping a product because I had people comment like, you should have started a whole new company with a different name. Anna shouldn't have been in it. And I'm like, guys, if you look at, dude, you get on there's all these different companies that do these, like, okay, I hate the name drop, but American Dream Butter is a very popular brand of these types of spreads, right?
Yeah.
Very similar. They, on their website and on their Instagram, it says high protein spread, like, all this stuff, right? 8 grams of protein, same as ours.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Advertised as a high protein spread.
Yeah.
Nothing that we have says that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's, you know, and it's just weird. It's just weird that we're getting so into the weeds on this. And, you know, I have a business partner. And, like, when it came for the name Anabar, dude, I remember, like, we were sampling the protein bars, didn't have a name yet, couldn't figure it out. We're in the gym lifting. And, you know, it's both of our brand. So it was this one thing where, like, we have to agree on a name. When you have a business partner, you have to see eye to eye on everything. It has to make sense.
Yeah.
We're lifting, thinking of names, and I go, wait a minute. What about Anabar? Boom. His whole channel, Ankrams, is a lot about steroids and shit.
Yeah.
So he goes, Anavar? That works great for me.
Yeah.
Anabar. And anabolic guy, Anabar. And they're both just mind blown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, it was so organic how it happened.
Yeah.
And then and it just made, like, total sense. And then, like, with the Anabutter, like, you know, like our protein bar, we have, like, the protein, like, on the label, like, up here, it's like 21 grams per, like, nothing about, like, no fillers, real food, gourmet flavor, nothing about protein on. I mean, I don't know, to me, it was just so, it was just like,
petty.
I don't know, man, like, if you just really are nitpicking.
Just really pedantic about a lot of, like, you know, I didn't want to get on that. That's done.
Yeah.
We got to it's just, you know, figure it out, people. Figure it out. Literally. Mm-hmm. It's as simple as this. I can say you look ugly in an easy way.
Yeah, yeah. You can tell me I look like I haven't showered in a good way.
I can Go ahead.
My other point too was like, okay, so you can take all the arguments and you could easily flip the script to positive. Hey, do you really like peanut butter? Well, this is going to give you slightly less calories with a lot more flavor.
Yeah.
You're someone that eats peanut butter all the time.
Only thing, it might cost a little much, but you know what? If you want taste or whatever, it's like, I get it.
Yeah, and we're the same price as all of our like American Dream Butter. Yeah. I think we're within $1 of them.
And listen, you buy anything, like I said, I've been in the industry since 2012. I was right in it. Like, so I was, when it comes to the supplement industry, it's one of the most lucrative companies, like industries in the world. Like, billions. You know what I mean? So when it's like, it's easy, you know, like it's like everything costs more than it should, because it's such it's high demand, and you know distributors and like, you know, they all know this. Like, not distributors, you know, your manufacturer, like, you know, high tech, whatever. They all know. Like, it's just, we all know, you know. So everything gonna cost more money. Everything will. Like,
transparency purposes, all in on this jar. I want to say the product inside after formulation is like $5. The jar's like a certain amount of money. The label's a certain amount of money. The lid's a certain amount of money. I think all in we're like $7 something on these. Then we have to ship them.
Yeah.
We have to pay our rent at the warehouse.
Then you got to buy a certain amount
to run the warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we sell it for, you know, so what? If we make $7 off of this, you got to chunk a little bit of that because we have to pay to have the pallets shipped to our warehouse.
The overhead on all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a shit ton of it.
Yeah.
So it's like until we can order 20,000 of these at once and cut that cost down, I mean, literally, if we sell it for anything, like, dude, if I sold it for the same as a jar of Jif Natural,
You're going
I'd
broke. Broke.
Yeah, going broke.
Yeah.
Going broke.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing with business too. And I try to tell people like, because people are like, I was getting a lot of comments about the price. Which here's the thing, I'm cool with any criticism. Like, if you were strapped on cash, like when I was as frugal as I could have been, I would never have spent the money on this.
Yeah.
Ever. Might have tried it once, but never.
But that's the thing. Like, and then people understand that in that world, like it's if you want to eat, if you want to live in the protein, like, fitness world, and you want to buy all the, meal replacement-esque stuff or whatever, it's going to cost you money. More money than normal shit, because it costs more money. Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's, so people understand
you get
that.
A lot of people saying like, well, I can, because, he's like, it's 4.8 times the cost of Jif Natural. And he's like, I'm just going to buy Jif. This isn't even all this stuff. And they're like, why would you charge? This is crazy. And I'm like, look, like, okay, the same way that people will buy this is the same way people will spend $1,000 on a pair of red bottoms.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Whatever you find value in. If you have crazy value in your nutrition, and you being, you put value in having variety and making it simple and giving yourself better, options rather than to eat a full thing, whatever the F, you're going to pay for it. Mm-hmm. It's not going to, and if you have the money, like it's like people have this like thing, like if when you make something, it has to be done for everyone to be able to afford. And it's like, I get it, because I've been the person who couldn't afford anything. I understand that. Of course. Like, so I've been the dude that's not being able to afford, like in the last 2 years, before this, I was like, before the last 2 years, I think I was making $30,000 maybe for only a year. Before that, it was probably 12 to 15,000. Before that, it was literally like, do you have enough for rent? If you don't have for, like, I remember owing Greg money for rent, and he'd be like, dude, you need to get a job, like, you need to work more places. Then I was like, I got a house and then working janitorial, whatever, cleaning 5 a.m, you know what I mean? Like, so I understand that not everything I want, I can afford, or not everything's for me. But if I want that thing, then I gotta make that kind of money.
Right.
And then I have that option.
It's all relative too, because what's expensive to one person,
is not.
I was hearing this described by that Alex Hormozy guy I was talking about. But he was talking about he always flies private.
Yeah.
And he's like, you got to look at this. He's like, so if I'm worth $100 million, right, and the average American household makes 40 or whatever, he's like, you multiply that out. So for them, that's huge. But for the equivalent on their salary, for me to fly private is like $10. Like $10, and it's like it's all relative. Yeah. So my car payment for the wagon, right, might be an insane amount considered to some people. Yeah. But it's like, for me, like, it's cheaper now for me to pay that than it was for me to pay, $200 for my Honda back in the day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just because it's all relative.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It's all about what you ascribe value to. Like, when it comes. So I'm sponsored by Young LA Apparel. Yeah. Dude, do you have an apparel sponsor?
I don't.
You should shoot him a DM, dude.
Young LA, what up, man? Yeah,
it is the coolest company to work with. Yeah. I don't like working with other companies usually. Young LA is the coolest company I've ever worked with. Yeah. But they send you, you get like, I get $400 a month on a gift card. Lately I've been doing pretty good, so they send me extra money. Yeah. You get all their new drops, like, the new stuff's coming out. All right, here's an early link. You go to it. Order. You get all the stuff you want. Choose out what you want in your sizes. Like, whatever. And I love their stuff so much that, like, once my gift cards are out, I'm also spending my own money and buying more. Like, I love this shirt, so I'm going to get on and not use my gift card and buy this also in black. Yeah. I absolutely love it. Yeah, dope. Right? And it's like, but then some people go, why would you spend that on a shirt when you can get this here? I'm like, well, what do you find value? I find value in looking good. Yeah. I find value in, people are like, why would you spend it on shoes? I love Jordans. I'm like, because I feel good and it brings me happiness. Yeah. Yeah. Right? I'm
the same way. I'm the same way. I'll like, because and I have to be smart about my money and whatnot. But like, for me, like I don't like I said before, I don't get stuff to impress people whatsoever at all. I remember when I was young and still have money and being like, I want to look a certain way, and I would try to piece together these looks for as cheap as I could afford it. Or I borrowed somebody's clothes and then it'd be mine because I was that dude that would borrow your clothes and you'd never see it back ever. You know what I mean? Like, I got pictures I look at and be like, man, none of what I'm wearing is mine in that picture. But I remember how people, like, how I felt in it and how I could go out and feel in it. And then, so now that I can afford those things, I get it because this is how I want to live. And I find value in these things. I feel good in it. It makes me, when I put it on, I'm like, you've done well. You've done, like, you keep doing better. Like, I had my tax bill this year. I was like, oh my God, tax, Jesus Christ. Like, I might have to pay this much for tax. And then I'm like, dude, you have that problem. I'm like, sweet. That's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I don't got a problem paying my bills around the house. Before I would be like, is my bank card gonna freaking say approved when I buy this candy bar?
Dude, you're holding your breath as you're swiping.
You're looking like, I still do it. And I'm like, you don't have to. I'm like, oh yeah, it's whatever. You know, like, you know what I mean? So like, I get it. I mean, again, I get that. We need more of this kind of shit out so people can see it. We're not trying to brag. Yeah, I want next man to feel just like I do. I want you to be like, yo, man, I want to have that too. Like, and he didn't just, get it from mom and dad. This guy grinded through it. And if you get it from mom and dad, sweet, get it from mom and dad. But like, because that's what you want. It makes you feel good.
If you get it from mom and dad, though, I feel like you lose a lot of the real appreciation.
You do 100%. Like, you don't ever feel the same getting a gift than you like, earning it.
Oh, dude, because I still remember like even when I made some money from YouTube and I went and bought when I first went and bought a Lexus Coupe or I leased one. And I remember just like going and getting that, and it was like, I think the payment was like $400 something a month. I remember just being like, so like I drive like a Lexus now. It was just such a cool like, wow, I earned this. Like, I remember I worked at Sprint, and you would profile people that pulled up based on what car they were in.
Yeah, you selling. I used to sell phones too.
Yeah. So like I remember this Lexus because I got the same as these other people. I think their house had burnt down or something, but they got this big settlement. So like they came and they just brought this new Lexus. They pulled up and like. Where I'm from, a Lexus is the nicest car you're going to see. Like, now that I'm in Houston, you'll casually see a Lamborghini or a McLaren or a G-Wagon. Yeah. All that shit. But like there, it was like a Lexus was insane. So it was like when I got that, the sense of pride I had.
Yeah.
But when I would have graduated high school and my mom just bought me a Lexus, you wouldn't have, And then the other thing is too, when you work for it, you appreciate it. Like everything that I own, I keep super nice.
Yeah.
Everything. Like nothing gets trashed. Like my Nintendo Switch I got 3.5 years ago, pristine condition.
Yeah.
My phone, pristine condition. My car's pristine condition.
Yeah.
I will go to the grocery store, park as far out as I can away from everybody, because I'm not letting you door ding my shit. You know what it took to get there.
Yeah.
You know what it took to make that a reality.
100%.
And I'm big on one thing I try to tell people, and one thing I do recently that I absolutely love. You ever talk to somebody, right? And they're like, I really want to lose weight. And you're like, well, what you got to do is X, Y, and Z. Wait, I can't drink full sugar soda? You're like, no. And they're like, there's no way I can't drink full sugar. I have to. And you're like, that is a statement of belief you just made.
Yeah.
You just said that you can't do it.
Yeah.
Out loud. The power of words is outstanding.
Yeah.
The things that you say to yourself in your head, the things you say out loud, when you say things like that, you're making it come true.
Yeah.
Like no, don't say that.
Yeah.
Like it's the power of the mind. This is the most powerful tool we have, and you can manipulate this thing to do whatever you want it to do.
It only knows how to do what you want to do.
That's it. But if you fall into these ruts and you fall into these, because I think of thought patterns in life, people look at it this way: like, okay, so you're on top of a hill, it's covered in snow, and you're sledding down a path, right? You sled that path over and over again. You're making these deep grooves. Right? Yeah. It's really hard to not keep going down that same path. That's what you're used to.
Yeah.
It's so hard to move the sled and go down a different path.
Yeah.
But as soon as you do that and break free of it, and you realize that like you've kind of just been doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And you change your mind, you start doing things differently. Boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
It opens your mind up to what's really possible.
Yeah.
Because like literally every action you take creates an equal and opposite reaction.
100%.
You make the right actions, you're gonna get the right reaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm big on karma. You do things with the right intention, you good to people. Like, dude, a problem that I had for so long that my friends had to help me with is we would go out and I'd always have cash on me. Every time we passed homeless people, I would hand homeless people $20 bills, $40.
Yeah.
It was a problem. My friends would be like, all right, you got to be careful with Remington. When we start drinking, he gives things away. I had a friend down here before we had a party. He came down and visited. And I warned him before the party, like, hey, don't let me give anything away. And then we're just standing there drinking, and I had this old Xbox laying around, and I was trying to give it away to somebody, and then Grant looks at me, and he looks back, and he starts dying laughing because it's just I can't even help it.
Yeah.
Like, but I love that shit though. Like, giving to people. Like, anytime I've ever given anybody anything, I feel like it pays me back dividends, and I think that's one of the reasons why I have been able to be successful is because at the end of the day, regardless of what anybody thinks about me, my content has been a net positive on the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People have gotten better from it. It's helped people.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of people that reach out to me like, dude, I've lost weight.
Yeah.
I've done this. I've done that. I sell a cookbook, but every recipe in that book is on my channel for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been able to give that value, and I feel like you give enough value to people, it comes back.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree. Damn, man. Like, good shit. I gotta come to Texas and we'll do a live coaching up. And then I know Beast Mode's down there as well, and he's down there too. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you in Beast Mode cool?
Yeah, heck, that's what I'm saying. Like, we had a little, like, we had this dumb beef last year.
Yeah.
I
remember.
Yeah. We had his beef last year. And then big ups to him, because like he approached me one day and he was like, look, man, like, you know, life's too short, this and that, you know, have this and that. And I was just like, yo, like, because like my best man, we've been friends since 6th grade, and my best man, like, we fought each other first. You know what I mean? A lot of my good friends we didn't like each other. Yeah. And there's that like common, I don't know what it is with kids, with men, but we're like, whoa, look at you, like, look at flash I gotta show my teeth. Cool. You're pretty cool, actually. Yeah, you fight pretty. I like you. Hey, you know, and you agree, and then all of a sudden, you know, so with Beast Mode, I was like, dude, like, I never had an issue with you at all. Like, whatever was going on, like, that's just like, yo, like I said, I dove into the drama shit, and out of that came like a good little, like, we have a cool, like, real correlation. Like, he's, you know, we're not saying we're best friends, but I'll stop on his thing, see something on his feed, and be like, and give him a positive reinforcement, because like I believe what he's doing is great. Mm-hmm. And he'll do the same thing. He shouted me out. I'm like, yo, good beast. Like, I gotta, like, and for that, it's like, I want to go down and hang out with you guys. This isn't gonna be this whole through the screen bullshit. Like, we gotta go hang out. We gotta go grind. We gotta go sweat real quick. You know, we gotta go smoke a J maybe. I don't know. We gotta do something outside of this to continue to show people, look at this through the shit. You know what I'm saying?
So Beast Mode Jones, Chris. When I started YouTube, remember I said, like, I didn't watch YouTube. I didn't really know, like, what it was about. Like, I made my first videos on the channel having no idea what what fitness on YouTube looked like. So when I started watching YouTube, Chris Jones was the first person I watched. He was my favorite. He was my idol for like.
He's the reason why I started wearing. I remember he did an episode on I was telling him on squat shoes, and I was like, oh shoot, squat shoes. So I bought my first pair of squat shoes because I was looking for. Then I started watching his stuff. You know, I'm like, and I was like, okay, this is how, you know, I would look at different channels and be like, okay, this is how I should do my channel. I was trying to like mimic a lot of different channels, or taking the best things, of course, with the little amount of resources that I had to do this, not knowing now hindsight, like, these guys got production companies behind them. Like I got, you know, when I edit or do a video, I got, you know, Erica helped me out with, she's doing, you know, the videography. Then I got 2 editors. I got, you know, people behind the scenes. Like, you know, I didn't know that at the time. And
I do everything myself.
That's nuts. You know, I do a lot of workout videos. I don't know if you do too, but I do a ton of workout.
I do not.
Yeah.
Just because it's hard to do. So like, I film myself. Yeah. I edit myself.
Yeah. I did all that. I did all that up till last year.
Yeah. Like, I would love to find an editor. But see, I'm also weird about you know, with my humor and my personality. Like, dude, there's videos I'll make where I'll do a lot of different jokes. Okay? Yeah. And like, sometimes, because everything's off the top of my head, nothing's ever scripted. So if I'm making something, I might try 4 jokes out, and they're there in the footage, and I'll only leave 1 in. Like, I made this joke that I didn't put in a video. I'm gonna put it on the podcast though. I thought it was funny. Yeah. But in this political climate, it'd be terrible. But I was making something. I think it was a chicken noodle recipe. And like, there's this thing where, like, you put it all in the pot, and it looks like, why would I ever eat that? But you got to let it cook for like 30 minutes, and it thickens up and becomes something different. I'm like, you guys just wait. In 30 minutes, this is going to radically change. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, but it's going to change. That was the joke. But I didn't leave it in, right? I cut it out. So I was like, all right, like that was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't leave it in.
Yeah.
Right? And this was before the shit really got crazy with all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I had that joke. But I don't know if I could trust an editor to make that judgment call when I got 4 different jokes.
Yo, so I did, I did that a few times, like, because I'll do the, you know, same thing. And when my brother was editing for me, it was easy. He's like, nah, man. He's like, nah, don't do that. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You know? And he'll put the ones in there right. And I remember having to see, like, a couple times I've been like, oh, whoa, bro, you can't make that joke. You try to cancel my ass real quick. Like, no,
right.
No,
right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I get that. And it is tough to find an editor that, you know, knows your personality and knows, you know, I got two really good editors. One of them is like a 16-year-old.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And he's like, because like I find that he like that age is like, you know, they grew up.
They get it, bro.
They grew up in the screen. You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
when he edits it like people's attention span. You know what I mean? You're like, you know, and I got my other editor, Lewis. He's my age, but he's like more of my like very creative visual guy. Like little, you know, my animated characters and yada yada. And they've been able to work with me for. Did Lewis for a year, and then my buddy Chu, he not for that long. Maybe we'll say like since maybe I would say me and my brother left my business. So yeah, that's how man. It's me and my brother like that, right?
What it is, dog.
Hey, he's too busy doing his own thing. He's got an NFT project, or you know, he does all that stuff. So he's heavily invested in his own creativity. He does EDM music. You know, he's got a couple of things signed by Armada Music, you know, so he's busy. So he couldn't, you know, completely invest in me the way I wanted to. So, you know, I had to get my boy Chewy came along and he was, you know, good. So, yeah, I get what you're saying about editing. It's tough when you know, but it's also tough to do what you're doing because I did that before.
Yeah.
All of it. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, and one benefit to that though is that I pay nobody for anything that I do.
Yeah.
So every coaching plan that I do, every cookbook, everything, every drip, because like I tried working with an editor once, and he came in and he's like, "All right, well, if I'm doing this, like you'll pay me this, and then I want like 30% of your ad revenue." Like, dude, I've had this channel for 6 years, and my ad revenue's cranking.
It's like no,
no, yeah,
sorry,
that's not gonna happen.
No,
and then and then you know, and then it was. Then I realized, you know, because I was trying to like go out and do vlogs and stuff like that, but like the amount of return on investment for me was like, all right, if I make this food content, it's evergreen. Same thing with the workout content, right?
Yeah,
it's evergreen. I can film it myself. Because that's really like, you know, my ad revenue is consistent. You know, like even right now, like I don't pull views like Greg does. You know, blah blah blah. I have so many videos sitting in the pot, just churning and churning and churning,
getting views.
It just sells everything. Brings attention to the brand. Does everything like that, and I'm like, and there's some joy I get too out of being completely like. Although, like I guarantee, if I hired an editor, I would be like, why did I not do this forever ago? It's something I do need to work on.
For sure, you will.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
You will.
Like, right now yeah, but like, you know, I mean, I could turn a bit. I mean, dude, all my videos are shot and edited in the same day.
Yeah.
So I can just like bat.
Yeah.
Knock. I mean, Greg's video came out yesterday. I had the boxing video done in like 30 minutes. It was just like bat.
Yeah.
Just some like I use an MMO. Do you ever you edit? I don't know if you ever seen one of these. I don't know if I can see that. See all those buttons?
Yeah.
That's an MMO mouse from when I played that game.
Oh yeah, you straight up game.
Yeah, so you map all your shit in your editing software to that. So you don't even have to take your hands off of anything.
Yeah, dope.
I look like I'm playing Guitar Hero when I'm editing.
I'm on a Mac, so I got the I don't know, maybe there's one for Mac, but I don't want to go back to editing.
Yeah, it's
too much.
Tedious.
It's too much.
It's a lot. I think that's one thing I need to do is find an editor.
Yeah. I'll put the word out.
Yeah, do it. If you know anybody that you think would be halfway decent, we can have this conversation later. I was gonna say I don't even know what compensation looks like for an editor.
I pay my editors X amount of dollars an hour, I'll tell you off screen, but it's like a good amount.
Okay.
It's like it's not like a crazy. It's I pay them hourly for how long it takes them to do, you know, the project, and I expect a good editor to be able to turn around. Like this video, I mean, this is gonna take a minute because you got to read and watch all of it, and then so I'm expecting this video to at least be, you know, 4 hours at minimum of editing. So it's gonna be almost $100 off the bat, right? So and then to churn this into a bunch of different videos, so it's like, you know, it works. And most people what I pay I pay $20 an hour.
Okay.
You
That
know,
seems fair. That seems
very
good.
right, and I find like it's the best way to do that to pay them that because it's you want them to stay around.
Of course, yeah.
You know
of
what I'm
course.
saying? So
Well,
that's
I'm a firm believer in compensating people well. Like I'm the type of guy like I'll go out to a dinner. I am a crazy tipper.
yeah.
Give me an Uber ride. I'm gonna hand you like a $20 bill. Like I'm very big on generosity.
Yeah,
Very big.
I mean,
Yeah,
I need this, like,
of course.
and you're good. Like, I gotta pay you for your value. I value you, like, you know what I'm saying. So yeah.
Do you do you play any video games or anything?
No, man. I used to be the Don Madden,
Okay.
but no, because I can't find anyone to play Madden. I used to play. Me and Chris Cormier used to play all the time, and then we battle back and forth. He's beat me, beat him a couple times, but yeah.
Well, I think the future of fitness, honestly, for a lot of people, is going to be in virtual reality.
Eventually.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've been so I got this Oculus Quest 2 headset.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got it around Christmas time. I was like, you know what? Like, I was like heavy into like investing into metaverse companies, and I'm trying to figure out where that next big, cash come up is. Right.
Yeah.
I got money in a bunch of different spots, and I was like, you know what? If I'm going to be invested in this metaverse stuff, because basically what people are projecting, right, is this: you have these games that are platforms, like you have Fortnite.
Yeah.
Right? Just raking in money. You got
Yeah.
your Call of Duties, microtransactions.
Yeah.
These games technically have their own currencies because you translate dollars into V-Bucks for Fortnite.
Yeah.
You translate, its own currency. So what they're saying is the next big game, like what you're looking out for is the next Fortnite for virtual reality. It's going to have their own like currency and everything, right? Like, so you need to be on the lookout for this because when this comes and that next killer app comes, and if you time it right, you make that investment, it's going nuts. So I was like, I'm going to buy this VR headset and see what it's all about. So you put this headset on, and there's cameras all around it. So you put it on, and it gives you like a black and white image. So I can put it on and go walk all around my house and still see. There's a screen inside that'll show you everything around you, right?
Yeah.
In black
So I'm glad you told me this because I'm debating getting one. Like I've been debating for like I go to Best Buy. I'm like, do I want this thing? Like keep going. Let me know.
It's insane. So I get this headset, especially because you like to smoke.
Yeah.
You get high and you get in this headset, dude. It is the craziest thing. So the way, and I always try to explain it to people because I want them to realize like how accessible it really is. So it's not like people are like, aren't you going to hit something? Stuff like that. No. Here's how it works. Like you can see everything around you. So you find the room you want to plan. You just need you can do it stationary.
Yeah.
So if you have a little bit of free space, you're fine.
Yeah.
And I recommend finding I have like a room right behind my kitchen.
Yeah.
There's like a big open space on tile.
Yeah.
And it has you like you just find a little spot and you look down, has you use your wand. You draw your safe area, okay?
Yeah.
So you draw the area, and while you're in it, like you're totally fine. And as soon as you get close to the edge, you'll start to see like it'll like kind of turn blue.
Yeah, I've used it before. I've played one game with you cutting things, whatever.
Beat Saber.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm so good at that game now. I can beat like almost every
I have to get one now. Like this is like
so much fun.
Damn it.
So much fun. So you make your little space, right? You go in. There's literally paid subscription fitness services in there. Whether you want to do like body workout or whatever. The boxing shit in there is insane. They have this game called Thrill of the Fight.
Really? Dude, let me get in that.
Dude, I'm telling you. I'm telling
you. Virtual boxing, you and Greg.
Dude. I was thinking that they don't have a game yet that's multiplayer. The sequel to this one's supposed to come out later this year.
Oh shit!
Multiplayer.
Yeah, don't.
So maybe me and Greg have to settle it in VR.
You get black guys in real life too. Like shit, this is actually real. Smokes in the face while you hit.
So it's but you go in and the game's called Thrill of the Fight, and it is the most realistic boxing simulator out. Super realistic. You can go in. There's a lot of different difficulties, right? So you can go in. There's like an easy mode you go through, which is when you start and you have no idea what you're doing, it's still pretty tough. There's a realistic mode. There's endurance mode. Then there's like outclassed where they'll knock you out in one hit. And you just got to be a fucking sniper. You just got to you can't knock them out.
You got to move like everything. Like I'm getting it
and
now.
The cardio that you get out of this.
Yeah, 100%.
So you put the headset on. The Oculus Move application. You look up. And a little menu will appear. It'll tell you how many calories you burnt and the amount of minutes your heart rate's been elevated and all this stuff. Yeah. It's got a really cool calorie tracking component.
Yeah.
But like I'll go in like every night. I'll set it up and Thrill of the Fight. I'll do like last night. I'll do like 12 3-minute rounds, right? And then I'll go in. And then the last couple of days I've made the character have like Greg's stats.
Yeah.
Just for practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I swear to God. And then, but you go in and like what I'll do is I'll like take the other boxer and I'll put their chin all the way up. So we're like,
Yeah.
And it forces you you to like
power punches.
And then you'll ramp their aggression all the way up so they don't start coming at you.
Yeah.
So you're literally just being attacked and you just gotta like, dude. And by the time I'm dripping in sweat, the pump is insane.
Did you win? Did you beat Greg in the fight?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But dude, after doing it for like back when I was younger, I did MMA. I trained at an MMA gym for like 3 months. Boxing, jiu-jitsu. Always loved it. But then it's one of those things where like you get older, you don't have time.
Yeah.
All this stuff, and the only sports I really watch are like UFC and boxing.
Yeah.
That's it. So this is like so much fun, and it's a great workout. So you go in and like you're doing the boxing, all that. In about a 40-minute session, I can burn like close to 380, 400 calories or so. And then the cool part is you can go in and there's like a dummy, right? You can hit. With the sensors and stuff on these controllers, they detect velocity, how fast you're going.
Yeah.
So you can like hit this dummy and it'll give you like a score. Like how hard did you hit it? Like what's this punch doing?
Sick.
Okay, let me practice a jab. Let me practice a cross. What's this? Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
so I get it. Yeah. I'm sold. Like I was literally so like before like what I just need the Oculus. I don't need like another thing to set up to my TV or like that. I get that.
Okay, so if you buy the Oculus Quest 2 by itself, you're gonna be able to do anything you want to do out of the box. Do you have a Chromecast or anything?
I have I got a PS5.
Oh, okay. Well, I went and bought a Chromecast just for this, but like if you have a bunch of people and you want to show them VR,
show them the stuff that on the screen.
Yeah, you can buy a Chromecast, and then like your headset will just hit it. You just plug it the Chromecast into an HDMI.
I think I do have a Chromecast. I think I do have a Chromecast. Like it's like a little. Like I think I have it.
A lot of people do. If your TV's halfway new, it'll probably do it without a Chromecast.
Yeah.
You can beam your stuff to the TV, and people can actually watch you while you're doing it.
But the only going to get it.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's insane.
I'm getting it.
It's insane. And then you have Beat Saber, which is also a workout. You have there's a million things in there you can do. And the funnest part about the boxing game is like you can start on like easy, right? And then like you're trying to beat it. You're like, man, this is tough. Then you beat that. You're like, okay. Then you go to realistic. This is tough. But then you finally beat that. And then like now I've beaten the entire game on endurance. So now I'm on outclassed, which I don't know how I'd ever beat. It's like impossible. Yeah. These dudes are just like, it's insane. But it's super cool because like so I'm gonna go this Saturday and see my actual boxing trainer to actually do real boxing. Yeah. And it's the way that it translates.
Is very
endurance. It's insane. So it's like so I really think VR in general, once they really get this down, is gonna be because dude, it's so convenient. Like yesterday, I do 40 minutes cardio every day, but it's like normally I'm like, okay, let me run to the gym, let me get on the Stairmaster, elliptical, whatever. But it's like now I can just put the headset on, have fun, get high, you get out of it, you feel like you accomplished something, you burn calories, you're throwing your hands. Yeah. Like it's just
I gotta get it. I'm getting it. You got me sold, literally. Actually, sold. I every time I go to, because I'm always getting something for the camera or whatever, or of course. Lights and shit, and I'm like always stopping by the Oculus because I'm like what am I getting for? Because I want what I want is I want to fly. I want to fly like I'm waiting for the Iron Man or the Avengers game so I can fly like Iron Man.
Dude, okay. So the first night, all right, listen to this. The first night I ever got VR, okay, I got it hooked up, downloaded a game called VR Chat, which is insane. You go into VR Chat, you realize that in the future the world is going to be solely online.
Just sitting in a room, just chatting.
All right. So the way this game works, it's a bunch of little chat rooms. Right? But they're all like themed. So you go into a room, you could be in a parking lot, you're outside, and there's a McDonald's. You can go into the McDonald's. People are behind the thing making you food, ordering up on trays. There's people outside in a car. Also, it's crazy. But you can be whatever avatar you want to be. So I have no idea really how this game works. I go into this game one night. It was like my first night there. I'm high as fuck. I go into this chat room, and there's just like a lot of kids running around and shit. And it's like young boy I won't say young. He might have been like 14, 15 maybe. He comes up, and he's Dragon Ball Z, right? Yeah. Okay, so Goku, gold hair. Yeah. Like, so he's Goku, and I'm a huge fan. I'm like, that's awesome. He's like, yeah, check this out. He starts like powering up and like going crazy. I'm like, this is nuts. He's like, hold up. He's like, I'm gonna give you this guy so you can be him if you want. Shut up. Like, hold on. So he has to like unlock his profile. I have to clone it, and then like he locks it back up, and And he's like, I'm like, hey man, do you ever get motion sick doing this? Because like, if you're not careful and you go into certain games, you're not used to it, you get pretty motion sick. So he's like, yeah, it happened to me at first. Like, actually, there was this jet game I played. He like stops talking. He goes, I gotta show you something. I'm like, what? He's like, trust me. I'm like, if you're taking me to that jet game, I don't want to go. I literally just got done being like motion sick. He's like, nah, trust me, man. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. So he like opens up a portal next to him.
What the fuck is going on right now?
Dude, yeah, and we both jump into it. And then boom, now we're in this airfield and there's planes and stuff flying. And we're like running over to like get into a jet. And like he's like gets in it and he's like, all right, hop in. So we hop in with like 2 other people and we're in it. And he takes off and I'm just in VR like looking. We're in a jet, we're flying. I'm like, what is happening? And then another plane comes, like he's trying to shoot us down. Shoots the plane. I jump out of it as Goku, and then I load up a beam and I'm shooting it at him as I'm falling.
Yeah.
Dude, and I'm just like, I remember like I landed, and I somehow landed way far away from the base. And I have no idea how to get back. I'm just out in the middle of nowhere, stranded. And like in the game, I just took out. You can take out your cell phone in the game. And I took like a selfie of myself, and I was just like, I need to remember this for the rest of my life. This
Come
is the
on.
craziest thing I've ever experienced.
I'm getting it. That was the best Oculus commercial. This is when this comes out. I expect free Oculus because I'm getting one. I'm dead serious. When I'm done this conversation, I'm going to Best Buy 7 minutes away, and I'm grabbing it.
Dude,
and we're gonna hang out in the metaverse.
Yeah, hey, dude, add me. I don't got no one.
Can you go to a movie with each other? Like, yo, let's go see a movie.
So I haven't done it yet, but there's a movie called Big Screen, and it'll put you next to each other in a theater. Then I think you can stream a movie from your computer.
Get out of here.
Yeah, swear to God.
That's so sold.
Dude,
sold.
I'm telling you.
Sold.
And there's this game called Demio on there. It's like a old school Dungeons and Dragons board game, right?
Yeah.
Me and because I talked to my brother and one of my friends back in Ohio to get it. So like we get into this game. And like you load up and you're in this old like 1980s basement. There's like an old tube TV. There's like weird posters up, and there's this board game in the middle of it. And you're all kind of standing around it, and then like you like what you do is like if you want to move closer, you like grab it and then you like pull yourself in, and now you're like all up close and you're like just standing right next to your character on this board.
Yeah.
Like I'm a warrior and he's a magician or whatever. And you're moving through this thing and you're moving your pieces and like. Enemies are coming out at you and you're all trying to attack and someone's getting killed and you're trying to run away, but you're all just like in this room. You can all see each other and you're like moving it's just like it's just so
that's so
immersive.
I didn't know it was that. Like I didn't no clue. Like because when I want to go to Best Buy, like the guy explained it to me is like he's doing the best he can, but he definitely doesn't have one. You know what I mean? So
yeah, of course.
I'm getting one.
Yeah, you have to. I feel like I'm like their number one sales rep.
Yo, you're good at what you do, man. Like if you're selling cell phones like that, yo, you're putting people in bad credit. I used to work for a cell phone company, man. I'm like, yo, man, that guy don't got the credit for this phone.
No.
This one's but sell them anyway. Give him all the bells and whistles.
Oh, dude,
come back. Oh, my phone doesn't work.
Yeah, dude. The worst thing in cell phones was you can walk out and not pay anything shit because people would come in, dude. I want 5 iPhones. I want this. I want that. No money down. Great. And dude, that bill's not getting paid.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Well, dude, yo, I can keep going really, but I mean, we got enough for the.
Yeah, we do.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we've been
good shit, man. Huh?
Yeah, dude. I said, what didn't we cover?
Everything, man. Everything. That's dope. I mean, that's it. When it just rolls, it rolls, man. Anyway, guys, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. You know, become the talkative, transparent, vulnerable podcast truth. And guys, make sure you guys follow Remington James. You guys got to see it. I'm sure when you guys see this video, it'll be cut up in different pieces. But I want to show you guys who Remington James is. And after this podcast, I know enough about him. I think it would be cool. Can be cool, right? We're good. You might see me down in Texas. Actually, I'll probably definitely be in Texas. I got clients down there, so we got to hit it up in Texas.
If you come down to Texas, dude, you can come stay here. I have rooms furnished, everything, guest rooms, all that.
Say no more. Say no more. Yeah, appreciate it.
Let me know, dude.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's just me here, so
let's do it. All right, well, guys, check it out, man. Anabutter, Anabar. I love this store. It's dope. I love saying Anabutter. Get it. Off the tongue. Buy your own stuff. Do your own review. You know, it's tasty. My man's gonna send me some because I want some of this stuff.
Yes, sir.
I had to do my own review.
There we go.
class review. Anyway, and that's it, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys follow us both. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Some of your progress pics, your video clips, and your training clips, and I'll repost it for you. Because you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime,
keep dream chasing.